Okay, here we go. This is going to be a very, very interesting day for Manchester United. In particular, Ruben Amorim and the situation which we all know about right now with Marcus Rashford. This is Forever United TV. We have got you covered from start to finish today. Of course, we have got our usual updates on everything going on with Manchester United and what happened last night. We have more information about what went down at Carrington between Sunday and today and why Marcus Rashford has come out with the statement he did last night, or even set up that interview with Henry Winter, formerly of the Times. We've also got all of the Manchester United updates included in the show this morning, slightly earlier than schedule. We have got an extra show coming up just before 9 o'clock where we're going to go through Ruben Amorim's live reaction to what happened with Marcus Rashford. The whole world is waiting to see what Ruben Amorim, what he does, what he says, and we have got that covered later on this morning as well. So we're doing our show this morning, then we're going to be moving across a bit later on, which around about 10 or 5 to 9, we are going to be live again just to do our usual Ruben Amorim live press conference. But that holds more significance today because of what we're going to talk about now, which is, of course, the main story, the main man himself right now, Marcus Rashford. Last night, unless you were sleeping under a rock and completely oblivious to anything going on in the world, the huge bombshell news was broke that Marcus Rashford had set up a private interview with Henry Winter, formerly of the Times, while visiting his former school to drop off Christmas presents. Within that interview, Marcus Rashford said that he is ready for a new challenge and is ready to leave Manchester United under questions from Henry Winter. It was deliberate, it was set up, and I think looking at how that whole situation went down at the school and how it was Henry Winter, who he's got form with before and spoken to and has a relationship with, I think it was quite clear that it came from Marcus Rashford's side of things. I may be wrong. We're about to find out later on this morning with Ruben Amorim, the press conference, and we'll deal with that then. But what has gone down as well is what happened from Sunday. Now, the last thing that Ruben Amorim said was, in his post-match press conference, both players trained this morning, which was Sunday morning. Both trained well alongside Collier, alongside Evans, that being Marcus Rashford and Garnacho, who were obviously omitted from the Manchester United matchday squad. That was the news. Everybody moved on. Monday, we're all looking at sort of stories coming out about United possibly looking to sell Marcus Rashford. The Guardian broke that news with Jamie Jackson. I was told a few other things as well. A few cryptic clues were sent out all over social media from different accounts. And it all looked like we were just dealing with the leak side of things and what was going on with the team news and Manchester United situation and all of that. But Tuesday was the day. Yesterday was the bombshell that we found out about Marcus Rashford's trip to school and what happened with Henry Winter. Since then, Mike Keegan has come out and told us exactly what happened between Sunday and Monday. In terms of Marcus Rashford, not a lot. So when we were thinking, and I was bigging up Marcus Rashford about getting back in this squad, getting in on Monday, showing Ruben Amorim what you're made of, deal with this, and let's move forward. He went into Carrington, was then sent back home sick and not well. So the protocol at Manchester United, if there's any player unwell, they go into Carrington on training day, they are checked out by a doctor, and it was said that Marcus Rashford had a high temperature. This comes straight from Manchester United. So their doctors have said that he had a high temperature and was not able to train. There are standards and there are levels to high temperatures and people not being well. In any walk of life, we just graft it out and get used to it, but these are, dare I say this word, finely tuned athletes that obviously need to be in perfect working order to get the maximum out of on a training ground. And if Ruben Amorim didn't think that Marcus Rashford could train properly, then he said no and he has been sent back home. So it could have been Ruben that sent him home. It looks like the club has okayed it and sent him home. That's all fair and well, but we're not knowing anything. We're thinking that Rashford is all great and everything he's back on, he's back training, he's back in with the group and wants to knuckle down and get on with it. He wasn't in training on Monday. Then comes Tuesday, yesterday, when it really all went down. Marcus Rashford had organised a trip to his former school in Wythenshawe where he was handing out presents to kids. All fine and well. Mike Keegan made a point of saying you've been sent home ill-low on Monday and then the very next day you're out and about, apparently not well, still, high temperature, dealing with kids, handing out presents in a school when you really should be resting up. It was an organised rest day for everyone in Manchester United's squad. Let's make that clear. He wasn't skiving away while everyone else was training. Everyone was off. I think the point Mike Keegan was trying to make was that he was still unwell and has still gone out. But the big thing with this is, on his day off from Manchester United, he has organised and deliberately organised a meet with Henry Winter at the very school he went dropping the presents off with, of whom he has got form with and a relationship with before, deliberately to put this news out, knowing that Henry Winter, being as respected as he is going to put this news out, and this was going to kick up a shitstorm, which it has done. And now we are getting an early press conference today from Ruben Amorim to address the situation after last night United refused to respond or comment on whether they knew that this was an organised interview, whether they knew about Marcus Rashford and what he was about to say. I look at it and just say no. Knowing that Marcus Rashford's people organised this privately with Henry Winter at the school, it just kicks up a this is us lashing out sort of vibe. And it's all speculation and hearsay, and the club may know. The club may spin it today. Ruben Amorim may just brush this under the carpet completely. We don't know what's going to happen. But one thing is for sure certain is that Marcus Rashford, in that little interview with Henry Winter, has come out and said he wants a fresh start. Since then, there has been an onslaught from the media and people who have got a serious problem with Marcus Rashford or have come across him before with issues within the media. Samuel Luckhurst of the MEN being the one that has gone in big time on him here. And if everything is all right at United, Samuel Luckhurst would probably look like a bit of an idiot if it is all brushed under the carpet right now, because his article last night in the MEN has absolutely slaughtered Marcus Rashford. And absolutely just given up on him and thrown him under the bus. No way he starts for Manchester United on Thursday. Look, honestly, if you haven't trained on Monday, if you haven't trained on Tuesday, and there is a press conference today, I don't think Marcus Rashford plays anyway. I'm looking at Ruben Amorim, what he said about Garnacho and Rashford and not training well. Well, if you've not trained all week since the Sunday game against City, then you're not going to be in the team, are you? Anyway, through training purposes and how Ruben Amorim picks his side. So I think we can safely say Rashford won't be involved. It'd be very strange if he is. If he's been unwell and not been in training, then I'd find that amazing if he turned up in that Man United matchday squad against Spurs. But we'll see anyway. We could be led up another path and then something else is said later on. So that was that. But also in Samuel Luckhurst's article, and honestly, read it, he absolutely goes in on him. And just to pick out a few points, he talks about Marcus Rashford's episodes in the mix zones. We all know that I've got experience of that. And how he just walks past with unpolitely ignoring everybody, not even letting on and saying sorry, no. He just ignores everybody, head down, doesn't even let on to people. Look, we've all seen it now. We know what it's like. There are worse stories from the mix zone as well. Luckhurst does say that. But yeah, that's one thing. He goes back to a story where he was set up at the Jimmy Murphy Centre at Carrington, where the media were supposed to be interviewing Marcus Rashford. And he had his car engine, his supercar engine running while he was inside the Jimmy Murphy Centre, while actually doing these interviews, as if to say, hurry up, I've got things to do. Kept that car running. It's like the entitlement he was going in on again. But then he did an even bigger one back in San Diego on the US tour, where two of his colleagues or two other journalists were interviewing Marcus Rashford, and he deliberately bent down for no reason at all, pretended to tie his lace or went to tie his lace. And in mid-question, while they were still talking to him, as he stood back up from tying his lace, walked off, catching the press officer off guard, and then just went away and left the two journalists mid-question, which was organised and was Marcus Rashford doing his media duties. He decided in the middle of a question to deflect away, tie his lace, and then walk completely away from the journalist as they were asking him a question. And Samuel Luckhurst has brought all of this out. He clearly has had enough. He clearly is of the opinion that Marcus Rashford needs to leave Manchester United and has put his opinion right out there instantly. You can imagine this article as quickly as it went out yesterday, and he goes in on Henry Winter saying like he's got form and he has obviously got a relationship with Henry Winter, so this was clearly set up by Marcus Rashford and his people. So, yeah, Samuel Luckhurst, obviously being in that press conference this morning, will be going in full bore and trying to find out what is actually going on. And do you know what? There's a lot of fans that will probably echo the thoughts and feel the same way that Samuel Luckhurst has. He also went in this article saying about the time when the gloves were thrown to the member of staff on the sideline when he was coming on off the bench. Ruben Amorim being a couple of metres away and noticing this, and then saying in his article, Ruben Amorim picks up on everything, and that's what he's taken away from speaking to him while he's been at Manchester United, and has clearly seen that attitude. And this is what I was talking about the other day, and I do agree with Luckhurst on this bit where he has picked up on little minor things, because he talked about it: the way you eat, the way you dress, the way you communicate with staff and your other teammates, the way you pick your other teammates up, all of that. That was pretty much explaining that. And like, if you've got that sort of attitude to members of staff, that you would just obnoxiously throw your gloves on the floor and let them pick it up instead of passing them over to him, literally half a metre away from him, then that shows you where Marcus Rashford's entitlement and attitude is at Manchester United, and everybody picks up on that. Luckhurst says he was booed by the majority of the 640 hardcore Man United fans at the Victoria Pilsen game. Ruben Amorim acknowledged all three other substitutes that came on that day, apart from Marcus Rashford. It is quite clear that the relationship is tarnished and has obviously been affected instantly since Ruben's walked through the door. And I was told personally that Ruben Amorim wants him gone. There is no way back for Marcus Rashford at Manchester United. And I feel now he has obviously jumped before he's pushed. And that, to me, is what it looks like right now. And honestly, that was my opinion last night. Then these bits of news and articles have come out after that. And now we're dealing with what they've said. And it does look very similar. It looks within the media world that they are reporting that Marcus Rashford has jumped before he can be pushed. All of the stories are coming out of the woodwork right now, which the club have probably put a lid on. They talked about, actually Luckhurst talked about how Manchester United tried to cover up issues with Marcus Rashford continuously, treading on eggshells forever and a day over the last few months with Marcus Rashford, making up stories to try and make sure that he isn't put out there in a bad light. All of this has been going on, and I think the biggest thing to take from it is that even if we're just looking ahead to the Spurs game, we won't be seeing Marcus Rashford in the United shirt. While not being injured, this is 2 matchday squads now in a row in massive games. 1 Manchester derby, 2 Spurs away in the Carabao Cup quarter-final that Marcus Rashford has not been a part of. And that alone should tell you that there is something majorly going wrong at Manchester United with Marcus Rashford. It's as simple as that. Get your likes in on the video, everybody. Going to come to the comment section right now. Just under 1,300 in the room with us already. Thank you so much, everybody. Make sure you have subscribed to Forever United TV as well. That way you can get into the chat. Everything done in good faith is charity. He's done the wrong thing as a young black player. He should have... he shouldn't hide his good deeds. He should have hid his good deeds. I'm not sure that the typos, a few in there, director of football. Sorry, mate. He's got more energy putting out statements than he has shown fighting for the ball. That's from Compost Smurf. Gehan says, what said? Someone just arguing amongst. This is what happens. Like, I can see straight away. I've just gone to the comment section right now, and I can see people bickering and arguing with each other here. And this is what these players don't realise that they do. They start fans arguing and debating certain little things. Like, seriously, Marcus Rashford going to a school and doing what he's done, and then the PR putting that out first, making sure that everyone knows he's dropping presents off and things like that, and then bang, Henry Winter was probably told to put this out at a certain time by Marcus Rashford's PR, and this is what's happened from here. It's unbelievable, is what it is. It's ridiculous that we're in this situation right now with one of Manchester United's biggest players. But from what Mike Keegan said last night, what all the other journalists have said, The Athletic, obviously Henry Winter himself, now Samuel Luckhurst and his opinion, this is going to rile quite a lot of people. Quite a lot of people, not a few. Quite a lot of people. And amongst the fans, it is just going to cause this divide yet again. I think most people right now are of an opinion that Marcus Rashford's time is up. He looks completely dejected. He looks completely... let's just say the word. He looks uninterested in anything to do with Manchester United right now. All it is his own personal thing. The only thing that's been good about Marcus Rashford recently is his PR and what he's been doing for the kids in the schools and his appearances in certain classrooms and everything like that. And people make sure that that is out there to cover up what's going on. And probably the club have been part of that as well. But for this to happen, and I think without the club knowing, that's just my opinion, but we'll know soon when Ruben Amorim speaks to the media, I feel like the club didn't know about this, and I feel like using the school as the actual venue to do this interview, I can't help but feel a bad taste. Like, why have you done this? Like, you've got a problem, and it's not your problem. That's how that comes across to me. If this turns out that the club do not know about it, then this is Marcus Rashford with an excuse again, and I feel sorry for me shout. Now, I cannot wait to hear from Ruben Amorim, and like I said, I'm just going to make it very, very clear, when Ruben Amorim comes out and speaks to the media this morning, and if he covers it up, if he brushes it under the carpet, I don't know, we have to move on. I'll be concerned. I'll be very, very concerned, because that means Ruben Amorim is doing what other managers have done before. I don't see this happening. I really don't think Ruben Amorim will. I think he'll just lay out what's necessary. He'll talk about what happened. He was ill, he went home. He didn't train yesterday because, obviously, it was a day off. So I think he'll try and keep it within the build-up to the Spurs game as much as he possibly can. And it's for me, I think, I'm guessing. I'm just guessing at how Ruben's going to approach this. He may be really angry. We may be about to see a different side of Ruben Amorim all of a sudden. The smiling, upbeat coach that we've all been loving so far, with that subtle sort of I'm still in charge approach that he has put across over the last month, could be blown out the window this morning in this press conference. We just don't know. Well, what we will be dealing with right now, though, is a barrage of questions, which is really unfair on Ruben Amorim and what he's had to deal with since coming into Manchester United. If you just look at the list of what our coach has had to deal with in a month, oh my God, like seriously, Luke Shaw back in, out injured. Manchester United in the depths of the Europa League, bottom half of the Premier League table. You got players that are coming in that he thinks are great that are then going out injured, like Shaw, like Mason Mount. Obviously, then you've got the sacking of Dan Ashworth and dealing with that and wondering, like, what the hell is going on? He's in front of the media 2 or 3 times every single day, dealing with Manchester United normal stuff. That's fine. But on top of this, your most experienced player, the big player that has had issues with nearly every other manager at Manchester United, it would seem, has now come out and done an interview saying that he wants to leave Manchester United. And I do believe that this is all set up by Rashford. The more I think about it, his PR, his team have set this up because nobody comes out in December and does an interview behind closed doors with no cameras, just to a well-renowned journalist who is going to put it out in a good way, in a full statement, at this time of year before the January transfer window opens up. Manchester United have come out and said nothing regarding Marcus Rashford. The rumours are coming out saying that they will be open to selling him if the right bid comes in. What Manchester United have done for me is Ruben Amorim, the face of the team right now, has come out and said there's no problem, there's no disciplinary, we've dealt with it, he's back in training, everyone's back on Monday, fresh starts, here we go, bang. And then Rashford and his PR dropped that bombshell. I bet internally that club, our club, and everybody working within it are sick to death of him. I've been told that there is many people at Carrington that just haven't got the time of day for him because he hasn't got the time of day for anyone else. Now, I'm not saying that's everyone, and there probably are people that Marcus Rashford gets on really well with right now, but what he is doing right now is clearly all about him. What he is doing right now is obviously all about how hard he has been dealt with, I feel. And it's just like what was said. Rashford was sent home sick, training on Monday. Club policy is that those who are unwell should attend Carrington. They will be assessed by the doctor. Rashford was deemed to have a high temperature and left the complex. However, the following day he was at his old school, and this is how Mike Keegan's putting it, by the way. He was at his old school giving out presents and dropping an absolute bombshell of a story to Henry Winter. And that really is where we're actually at. It's crazy. It's crazy. The scenario is, and it all just stemmed and all looks like it's pointing towards Marcus Rashford and his PR. I treat Manchester United like I treat my family. God help his family. That was a quote that came out from Marcus Rashford last year in his interview with the Player Tribune. Go to Old Trafford and watch a game is everything. That's Marcus Rashford. And it clearly, there is clearly a serious issue behind the scene with everything going on right now with Marcus Rashford. And it's basically, for me, honestly, really disappointing. Like I said, I've got issues with Rashford. Everybody knows that. I've called him out from day one, from when it all started going wrong. And a lot of people are jumping on the train now, obviously. And that's right. Look, everyone's different. Everyone wanted to give Marcus Rashford time. Everyone wanted to feel like they could get the Marcus Rashford back that they loved. And there are plenty of people that love him at Manchester United within the fan base. The singing section in the Stretford End still sing his name when he's playing well. But they are the fans that will always be upbeat, and no matter what's going on, will sing. There are a lot of other fans that demand a lot more right now. Every fan is different. And a lot of this fan base are sick to death of paying inflated prices, being taken to the cleaners, watching the same old crap football, and then you get players coming out with excuses like this continuously, like Marcus Rashford has, as to it not being his fault and something else going on behind the scene with his brother backing him up, coming out with complete and utter, I can only use the word, bollocks. It's not on. It's not on. Block says, I love this channel, especially the morning show. Thank you, mates. Everyone loves the morning show. Over 1,700 people in the room with us right now. Just 200 likes. Surely there should be a few more likes in there, everybody. Please do get the likes up on the video. We should at least be at 400 if we've got 1,700 in the room. If you haven't already, please like the video. Make sure that you have subscribed to Forever United TV as well. We have you covered on all news like this. On and off the pitch, everything going on with the club, I got you covered. And we bring you in as well. Let's get into the chat on some of your comments. 350k a week to walk around the pitch. The longer a player has been at the club, the faster they should be out of the door. Block also says he's realised that his power has gone, and this is what we've been saying all along. How will he survive under the Ineos reign with them having a coaching that they've employed right now with the power to do what he wants to implement his system and his style of play? This is key to everything, because there was a quote that came out the other day about Ineos abandoning their vision for a certain style of football because of what Ruben Amorim actually did, and what Ruben Amorim brought in to Manchester United, and the conversation impressed Ineos that much that they gave him the power to implement what he wanted. I think it was probably in line with the style of football that they wanted to play and what they wanted to hear. So they've just let him go into the Manchester United squad and rip it up. And we cannot even say or argue that that hasn't happened. We've seen the rotation. We've seen Marcus Rashford being given a chance, Garnacho given a chance, dropped to the bench, then completely out of the squad. Look, getting step-by-step guidance from Ruben Amorim, it's like, look, okay, you started, you didn't do well, you're back on the bench. Then we'll start you again. I need to know these players. Remember the press conference? I need to learn these players before I even think about the transfer window. Then we did a video about Ruben Amorim compiling this list for Ineos, profiling every player in their worth to the club. Then you're getting Marcus Rashford left out for the second game in two big Premier League games in Arsenal and Nottingham Forest. Then he gets a chance against Pilsen again, and Ruben Amorim giving him his last chance, last go, let's be honest, at everything. He was then hauled off after 55 minutes. Absolutely pathetic performance from him. Non-existent on the pitch and not looking like he cares. And like Samuel Lucas said in his piece, every single Man United fan there, near enough the whole majority of them, booing him off. Ruben Amorim not even acknowledging him as he walks off the pitch, walks straight past him. Every other sub got an embrace and a handshake from the manager, from the head coach, except Marcus Rashford. Then we get him dropped out of the squad completely. Garnacho as well, and we're still waiting to find out what's gone on with Garnacho. Something clearly has gone on behind the scenes. But Marcus Rashford and his people, I think right now, have finally met their match. and Manchester United's backbone has become a lot stronger. It's come a lot straighter, and it's all of a sudden started to act like a real football club, where the players fall in line and the club is not standing on eggshells, treading on eggshells like Samuel Luckhurst said in trying to move around Marcus Rashford and worry about what he is going to do. It does look like the agents and the people behind the scenes, and this is what was going on that was reported with SCG with Ten Hag. Like owners of SCG, just walking around Carrington like they own the place. Ten Hag allowing Dutch media in to do whatever they want and do interviews and film where other people weren't allowed. It's like they lost control of everything that was going on at United. And I think Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos has just had enough. Absolutely had enough. And this is why Dan Ashworth was also got sacked, because it kicked off thinking that he was going to develop the structure, he was going to develop everything at Manchester United as a director of football. He didn't want Ruben Amorim. He didn't want anything to do with that. He wanted Gareth Southgate, as we've said. He wanted to keep Ten Hag on even longer. And when Ruben Amorim came in and obviously started to wield the axe and do what he wanted to do, Dan Ashworth was pushed out. The relationship was tarnished from there. Look, they are brutal and they are cutthroat in Ineos, but I think it has got us to a point where we really do need to accept that change is coming at Manchester United, and it's a good thing for us. And I think that is a big positive to take from it as well. Let's get a few more of your comments in. Das Sweets, 40 million and 350k a week off the books is good for the club. It's who he's going to go to that's the problem right now. Now, James Ducker has also said that he prefers Spain. That's his preference. Good luck with that, Marcus. And good luck to the club. I can fully see a isolation situation like Sancho coming on here. I think he's going to end up going on loan somewhere until the summer. I think this is where it's being pushed to right now. Jacob says, good morning everybody. Rashford was given the right by our football club to do as he pleased. Now there is a manager that does not take his BS and the club keeps quiet. Get out Rashford. Adam says, if you think he will be leaving on the cheap, you'll be very wrong. We will be paying his wage if it goes down 100%. I don't know what you mean by that, if it goes down 100%. He will be going on the cheap compared to what he was when he signed his contract. Like Marcus Rashford's valuation was about 100 million after he signed his new contract. He's now down to near enough, closer to a quarter of that. United will be lucky to get 40 million for him. This right now was the club trying to put Marcus Rashford out there in a good light, and he's back in training and everything's all right. And he says he's not going to badmouth Manchester United in this interview with Henry Winter. But really, the fact that he has done this, gone behind the scenes, everybody can see his performances. Clubs are not stupid. They will watch it. They will scout him. They will look at games. And everybody thinking that these clubs are going to look at Marcus Rashford's 30-goal season, goal-scoring season that he had for Ten Hag as why we're going to get value for him. No. Marcus Rashford is a headache for any football club. And this is the problem the club are going to have right now, which is why I feel United will be paying part of his wages. And the only way he's going to leave in January, if they want him gone, is on loan to another football club, in hope that he finds some form and actually proves any value to anybody to sell him on then in the summer. I just don't see anyone pumping up the cash. And if he wants to go Spain, oh my God. Good luck with that one. Where? Who is going to take you? Barcelona got no chance of affording you with the mess that they're in. Maybe Barcelona on loan and you can pay half of his wages. I don't know, but they can't afford to bleed him pay other players' wages right now. They're struggling. There's no way that Barcelona, unless we're paying Rashford's wages, are going to take him, and Ineos will not do that. Real Madrid don't want him. They haven't got room for him and will go nowhere near him because he's shit. And that's a fact. When you look at their forwards, there's not a chance in hell they would go near him. Who else is there? Like Atleti meant they had money, but they spent it all on Alvarez. And they'd probably rather have him in their team than Marcus Rashford right now. You're looking at someone like what was said yesterday about him going on loan possibly to Germany as the only option, with most of his wages paid by Man United. If you want him out of the club, United are going to have to pay to get him out of the club in January. Otherwise, Ruben Amorim has got a problem, and he's going to be trying to find spots for him and places for him within Man United's side throughout the rest of the season. And that's what I thought was going to be happening. But clearly, there are bigger issues behind the scenes right now, and I don't know how he handles it. It's going to be really interesting to see what Ruben Amorim does in this press conference this morning. By the way, we have got live reaction to the press conference, so make sure that you are up to date with everything. Around about 10 to 9, we're going to be live again this morning with the Ruben Amorim press conference reaction. So there's plenty to get through there. Enjoy writing. Thank you, mate, for the super chat. Marcus, can't wear the shirt again, surely. We'll see. Daniel Longbottom, welcome back. Renewing his club, renewing his FUTV membership. Thoughts on him wanting to leave? Pretty much just said it there, mate. Like, if he wants out, go. Good luck finding another club, though. That's the problem. Loads of hungry kids in Saudi, says Block. Oh, that's a harsh one, that one. He's going he's going in strong. But this is what this sort of situation brings out of the fans. It brings the animosity back out of the United fan base. And it just gets people arguing and bickering amongst each other. Marcus One Touch in the chat says, ask yourself, who benefits from that interview yesterday? It ain't us, it ain't the club, it ain't his teammates. No, it's Marcus. Again, pretty much nailed it there, mate. It is what it is. Almost at 400 live likes. Thank you, everybody. Keep the likes coming in. Make sure you have subscribed to Forever United TV. I love. Our new manager. Player power has come to an end. Yay, says Delta Faye. Loads of people getting in comments today. Director of Football. I've seen the bad side of the mob within the United fan base way too many times. You can see it coming, and when it starts on certain individuals, it doesn't stop till they leave. It's inevitable. Yep, I think his time is definitely... His days are numbered at United. We've known that for a while, but I think even more now than ever. I think Marcus Rashford is done at United in so many different ways. Would you be happy if Rashi plays for Arsenal and they win the Premier League? Not got a problem with that. Amino, thanks for the super chat. I just want him gone. Like, I'm at a stage right now, and I couldn't understand it when people were kicking off when Sancho was sold to Chelsea, like giving them a player to our rivals. Look, he doesn't work at United. Deal with problem one so you can sort your own ship out. If he goes to Arsenal and does well and wins a trophy, good on him. I want him to do well in his career. I just want him out of United. I don't think he fits what we want. He's not right. And good luck at any other club that he goes to. Honestly, I don't think he will, but if he does, hats off to him. Well done, son. That's all I'll say. I don't want him to disappear off the planet. I want him to go and do well elsewhere. Like, I never want a player to completely fall off. But I have to be honest, and what I look at on the pitch for us is never going to work. And if it's not working for Amorim, who is our last hope, let's be honest, then it ain't going to work for the football club going forward. Get rid of him. He has to go. And going to Spain, yeah, honestly, like, good luck with that one. I don't know who would take him. I really don't know who would take him. It's an impossible one, but yeah, they're pretty much all of your updates and everything that's going on with Marcus Rashford right now. I have to nip off and do the school run, so I will be back around about 10 to 9. Another show is already being set up, so we'll be doing the press conference live reaction as usual. So we're having a two-parter today, everybody. We've had this one and your updates from what's happened, and then we're going to move across to the live press conference reaction for Ruben Amorim, which we're kicking off around about 10 to 9. So make sure that you're there, please, everybody. Please give this video a like on the way out. We have over 400. Love you all. Around 1,900 in the room with us right now. Just shy of 2,000. That's mega for a morning show, everybody. Thank you so much. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button so you can get involved in the chat later on. Another super chat quickly in at the end. Adam, any chance of a swap for Alphonso Davies? I don't know. I don't know if Bayern would go down that road, mate. But hey, it's up to Ineos to be creative with this transfer. Now they're going to have to be. They really are. But that is us all finished. Thank you, everybody. I'll be back very, very soon, around 10 to 9, another half hour's time, with the updates from the press conference. Like I said, two-parter this morning, everybody, in a Rashford special. Hopefully, Amorim can shed some light as to what is happening next. But for now, thank you, everyone. Like, share, and subscribe.